This drink is so yummy.
Yeah, it was a good call.
Somebody called you?
No, it was a good call.
Who called?
No, it's a euphemism.
Whose euphemism? Who is that?
No.
Is euphem his first name or his last name?
It's an expression. It's like saying he passed away instead of he died.
He died? Oh my god, that's so sad. Did he know me? I bet he met me when I was just a boy. It's so sad. It's torture that people die like that. So young too, I bet. How old was he? I have to go. I have a thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Twist ending.
Good morning, sweet world. Welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, that's Tess Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-o! And last but not least, making the magic happen, if that's what you want to call it here this morning, it's JD.
You guys ever been water skiing?
Yes.
You know, when you tell the boat to go, but you don't even have the rope in your hand? Mm-hmm. That's what just happened to me.
Yeah. Well, why the rush?
Well, it's 10:09, man,
Who
or 10:10.
cares? Who gives a shit? We're not.
Oh, the stream team cares.
Nah,
They're like,
cares.
where are these?
What do they got? Nothing to do. They're not going anywhere.
They're just sitting and chatting. Anyways, hello.
What's up, man? Shout out to that stream team for joining us live on YouTube. Like the vid. Please subscribe if you haven't done that. And chat away to each other and to us, too. Get your comments in there in the stream team. Get your tickets to our No Dunks live show in Salt Lake City over All-Star Weekend. Friday, February 17th at 8 p.m. On the dot, gentlemen. Not 8:08, not 8:09. 8 p.m. we hit the stage. You know that's not true, especially with a live show. I'll be surprised if we're out there by 8:30. Anyway, it's at the Urban Lounge. VIP meet and greet packages are available. There's a few left, and those come with preferred seating, by the way. So if you want to get the VIP, hang out with us a good hour before the show and then make our way over to the location next door for the actual show, go grab one, or otherwise just get a general admission ticket. Link to buy those tickets is down there in the show notes. And tonight, we're firing up another NBA watch party at exactly 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Not 7:38, not 7:30. We're going to start with the Lakers-Knicks, but we'll bounce around to a few other games. What do we got there? Heat, Cavs, Clippers, Bulls. Tess is a maestro with the playback remote. So
I heard our friend Jared Greenberg on NBA Crunch Time yesterday saying it's the only NBA whip around show, which is probably true, but we'll do an NBA whip around light tonight. We'll bounce around.
Light whip.
Yeah.
Would you like to
light
come up,
whipping for Valentine's Day? Just a light one.
Would you like to come up with a name for like the whip around that we're doing here on Playbacks? You know, I was trying to think of one. Like we had court surfing back in the day, and then what's Greenberg's? What's it called?
Crunch.
time.
NBA Crunch time. They say it's a crunchy one. He says that a lot.
That's nice.
It's a crunchy game. As in, it's a close game. It's a crunchy game. They've got hours to fill, so they come up with things.
Do we come up with one?
Yeah.
How about crunch surfing? No?
All right.
Surf crunch.
Something like
water skiing.
Passing the rock.
Game guys.
Water skiing. Join us on water skiing where we jump around from game to game. All right, we'll come up with a name. We'll do it tonight on Playback.
Guys. Yep,
come hang with us. It's a lot of fun. You can get a free Playback account, and then you just log in with whatever your subscription service is to watch games, be it Hulu, YouTube TV, League Pass, Direct TV, whatever you use. You sign in with that, and then we're all watching at the exact same time.
117 points for LeBron James to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Will he do it?
Tonight. On Playback.
Tune in.
Okay, well, on today's podcast, we are going to get to some hypothetical trades. We'll talk a little bit about Nick Nurse and whether the Raptors head coach is on the hot seat. But let's start with the games. We'll begin with De'Aaron Fox and Trey Lyles. helping the Kings outlast the Wolves 118-111 in overtime. This was their second game in a row. Wolves took the first one. Kings take this one. Entertaining, obviously an overtime game. Some fun storylines in this one, but what were your takeaways, Tess?
Well, I just love the intensity of this game. First, Domantas Sabonis getting tossed. He was tossed because he fouled out, but it looked like he could have got tossed earlier when he got pissed off. You don't see Domantas Sabonis get angry ever, and he was extremely angry when there was a non-call. It seemed like he got ejected for it.
Yeah,
because
he
Thought he got ejected?
Yeah, because he went to the back.
awesome.
But apparently he
That's
just
hilarious.
wanted to cool down, and there was only one way to do it.
JD, are you okay?
Bring the boat back around. Bring it around.
We can just start over if you like.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in the dust here.
Holy-
Yeah, I'm just pressing buttons. Don't mind me.
I know. Second day in a row where you're like, let's just press that and see what that does.
Yeah, we had a little visual malfunction for our podcast listeners just now who don't understand what's happening. But anyway, Domantas Sabonis went to the back, and it looked like he was ejected.
Yeah.
He was so angry. You literally don't see that too often. But a smart move. Go cool off in the back. Apparently, DeMarcus Cousins had that as a rule with Alvin Gentry back in the day with New Orleans. Like, if you get angry, go to the back. But I had never heard that of any other NBA player. But Sabonis went to the back. You don't see that happen too often. But he came out because this did feel like a playoff game. And then eventually when he fouled out, it looked like the Kings were going to lose, especially the Kings and the way that they struggled to shoot. Yeah, Fox had 32 in the end, but it was on 27 shots. This was a game that they would usually lose. And these stretch of games here, they're on the 7-game road trip. It felt like they were going to lose this game, but a Kings team that just fought back without Sabonis and played really well with Trey Lyles at the 5 in overtime there to stretch out Rudy Gobert, which really, really helped. 50 games in, a team that's responding really, really well to a little adversity there. If you're a Kings fan, you got to be very optimistic going into the All-Star game that they fought through a game where Kevin Huerter stunk and the bench came through and helped out. So just overall, a positive Kings vibe in this one.
What do you think, TK?
This was a fun game to watch. I thought De'Aaron Fox, I don't know how he only scored 8 points in the fourth quarter. It felt like he had a lot more. He was just in the lane all the time. A lot of teardrops, a lot of floaters. I thought that was cool. I thought Trey Lyles was awesome in the fourth quarter, or in overtime, more so, 8 points of his 11, and it was kind of a change of pace, like you were saying. Sabonis and Gobert had a really fun matchup to watch the entire night, just bashing into each other, banging on the glass, and, just being big physical dudes. And then Trey Lyles comes in for the last 5 minutes of the game, and it's like, Rudy Gobert suddenly got to guard a fast guy, put the ball on the floor, blew by him for a slam dunk, and one, hit a 3. It was just cool to see the Kings have a curveball, really, in overtime, but the Timberwolves kind of gave this game away. They missed their first 6 free throws, shot really poorly on the night, and then they had so many dumb turnovers, particularly after getting a stop. Like, they'd be trying to fast break the other way, and it always seemed to be Harrison Barnes intercepting a pass at half court. 21 points off of turnovers for Sacramento in this one. And, in a game between two teams who are pretty close with each other, the Timberwolves just beat the Kings, so it's not totally surprising to see it go the other way. Just too many times where they lacked attention to detail for Minnesota to pull out this win.
Yeah.
And miscommunication on the defensive end just over and over.
Well, especially
Yes.
D'Angelo
Yes.
Russell there giving up a Trey Lyles dunk underneath, like miscommunication in terms of like, are we switching? Who's picking him up? I mean, that was sort of the nail in the coffin in overtime there. And
He was pointing.
yeah.
Should have been pointing at himself.
Yeah. Oh, man. D'Angelo Russell, he has got to be one of the more like frustrating players in the league, especially if I was like a Wolves fan. Like, he has incredible games. We talked about him on Monday's podcast. I lumped him in as a winner of the weekend with Anthony Edwards and the Wolves picking up wins because he, takes over quarters, gets hot, plays well, sets up guys. He has a couple nice passes in this game. But then he has these rough games where he can't shoot 2 for 10 from 3, 4 of 16 overall, some bad turnovers, and then just the lack of concentration on the defensive end. I just find he'd be just very tough to watch night in, night out, because it's like, wow, this guy's amazing, and then, whoa, my God, this guy's sort of killing us. Like, what's he doing out there? Feels like game to game. I mean,
Yes.
Wolves fans can probably speak better to that than I can, but even me just watching a lot of them, it's like, oh, God, this guy, who are you, man? Figure it out. It's like he's sort of El Tizo in a way, because he has those brilliant stretches, but this was a bad one, especially that play. And back to the Kings, you're right. These are the types of games the Kings need to win here, right, to maintain that spot in the Western Conference playoff standings. And I would even say to prepare yourselves for a playoff series. They haven't been there in a very, very long time. There are going to be games like this. Teams can't shoot threes. Defense a little bit more locked in. Yeah, this was sloppy, sure. But you got to win these ones where you just don't go out and score 135 points, right? It's more of a low-scoring affair, and they pulled it off. And I thought this was a nice little battle here between Anthony Edwards and De'Aaron Fox for possibly that final All-Star spot. I mean, the coaches have already got their ballots in. This game last night will have no impact on that. But I think these two, look, I think we could come on Friday's podcast and go, these are the two biggest snubs. They both could not make it.
Sure.
Maybe just one makes it. Maybe both make it. Probably unlikely, but they both had really good games over these last two. I thought where they went head to head.
Yeah, and as Trey said, it felt like Fox did a lot more than have 8 points in the fourth quarter because he was leading his squad to the right shots, and that's what mattered here with Sabonis out. I kind of liked how it was on Fox's shoulders to lead the way, even though he is their leading ball handler. A lot of it goes through Sabonis, but these are nice little preparation minutes for the postseason that they should have. Sounded like a Preparation H commercial that I just said, like preparation minutes. Sounded like you had tummy troubles. Anyway, it's important to have these moments that you go through, and yeah, as you said. They didn't shoot the ball well. They didn't start the third quarter well, but they just battled back. Ugly win. It was an ugly game in the end, but some good battles out there.
You had a tweet about Malik Monk and his layups, and I saw it, and I was like, I was thinking the exact same thing. Could you explain what you like, the weird type of layups this guy sort of does?
He is a guy who gets to the rim, but has his hand over the rim and doesn't dunk it.
Yeah. He almost just drops it in.
Yeah. He gets up high.
Yeah.
And then it's not a finger. I guess it is a finger roll, but there's no roll. It's just a. He just get it up there,
just
cup,
leaves it,
let it go. So it's unique.
Yeah,
Just doesn't throw it down. It looks cool. It just doesn't happen a lot. It's not it's not a scoop shot because he's not under the bucket. But it works. He was key in this game.
It was. Especially, Herder had a brutal game shooting. He shot bad in both of those games against the Wolves. But they pulled it off. Fun game. Go check the highlights. Kings-Wolves.
Last note. Shouldn't have even gone to OT. Monster travel by Jaden McDaniels on the three. He looked pretty surprised to be wide open. Stumbled, wanting to pass it to the corner. Realized, wait a second, I should just take this three. Traveled again, and then dribbled. Knocked it down. Kings would have had a beef, because that's coming back on the last.
Well, there's there's a tweet from the @official NBA refs.
Okay.
They tweeted, like everyone else, referees make mistakes. We made one at the end of last night's game, and that is gut-wrenching for us. This play will weigh heavily and cause sleepless nights as we strive to be the best referees we can be. Now, maybe not as sleepless because Kings did go on to win in overtime, but a little tossing and turning, can't get comfortable with your arm in the pillow. That was the NBA officials last night. So they're apologizing for that one too.
It's a tough thing. It's a flywheel effect. Because they miss this call, then they don't go to sleep. So they have no energy for the game the next day, where they miss another call, can't sleep that night.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, these referees are going to be going on 6 months without sleep?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, zombies.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic scores 53 in his return as the Mavericks beat the Pistons 111-105. Yeah, the Mavs needed basically all 53 of Luka's points. It was the Luka versus Pistons game, especially in the first quarter, where he had 24 of their 30 Luka had in the first quarter and finished with 53 in the end. Any thoughts?
Well, he hugged his Balkan bro after the game, Bojan Bogdanovic, and it felt like he was saying, come play with me. Play with me. Can we make a deal? Let's talk to Troy Weaver. Let's get Troy Weaver. Let's get Mark Cuban in a room and come play with me because he needs help. He needs some offensive ability. And I know Shams Charania of The Athletic has reported that Dorian Finney-Smith, his teammate, is available in a trade for a star. You're not getting a star for Dorian Finney-Smith. Let's be honest. No. Dorian Finney-Smith is a young. I mean, he's not young anymore. He is a complimentary player. That's the problem with the Mavs roster is you got to compile a couple of these guys, and you got to have another team want those couple of supporting players to be able to get somebody like Bojan Bogdanovic, who I think would be the absolute ceiling that the Mavs could get in return here in 9 days. But they needed everything that Luka gave them. He looked tired in the second quarter. really, and he was still able to
he
do
did
it.
everything in the first quarter. You can't
Yeah.
really blame him. And he said I guess blame is not the right word, but he credited his 53-point performance because the Pistons assistant coach, Jerome Allen, was chirping at him, to use Luka's actual terminology. Like he was talking trash, like right from the jump.
Just chirping.
Pissed Luka off. He's like, I'm going to put 53 up on your head. Weird.
Did he know who Jerome Allen was, or
I
did
don't
he
know.
just say a coach? That'd be impressive if he knew who.
I'm not sure Luka
Jerome-
actually specifically named him.
It was reported in the AP though that it was
Yes.
Jerome Allen. So AP got to the bottom of it and just put him on blast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably chirp at anybody else on the Mavericks. I
Yeah,
would say.
right.
You know, there's one guy you're worried about scoring 50 plus. Not the one to talk to because every other Maverick outside of Spencer Dinwiddie was in single digits. Dinwiddie 12 points, 10 of them in the fourth quarter. Went 5 for 16 to score 12 points. So sometimes you got to score 53 points for your team to win, and that's what it was for the Mavs last night.
This was Jerome Allen who used to play in the league. Like,
Yeah.
had a cup of coffee like a couple of years.
I had
Yes.
to Google.
Yeah. How many total points do you think Jerome Allen had in his call it 2 or 3 year NBA career?
53.
No,
69?
no, it's more. It is more, but only
108.
total of 360 or something. I already lost it here, so not a lot. He averaged 336. He averaged less than 3 points per game.
I wonder if Malik Allen, who's on the Heat's bench, averaged more. That's the only Allen I know as an assistant coach. I didn't even realize Jerome Allen
Yeah, I didn't either.
was an assistant coach.
Malik Allen.
But,
Hold on. Now we need to know his career. Oh, yes. 4.9 points per game from Malik Allen.
I could see him
Much
chirping.
longer career.
How
10
about
years.
Lavoy Allen?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Where's
Lavoie,
Lavoie
I'm going
Allen?
to say
That's
last.
recent, right?
He's
I mean,
a
2010s.
Yeah, I bet him and Malik Allen had crossover.
Lavoie Allen, 5-year career, 6-year career, average 4.8.
Okay.
Very similar
Okay. What about this
to
Allen?
Malik. What about this Allen?
Leading Allen scorer of all time. Lock it in, Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. Yeah.
Yeah. Not Allen
Lock
Ray.
it in. Not Allen Ray.
Okay, let me lump some other games together here. First in the West, we had Curry scoring 38 points. He had 12 assists as well as the Warriors topped the Thunder. We had Mikal Bridges scoring 29. Suns pulled away late, beat the Raptors 114-106. And we had Lillard scoring 42. Blazers hold off the Hawks 129-125. So the Warriors, the Suns, and the Blazers all picking up wins there. And we'll show you the Western Conference standings in a second, but any of those games that you wanted to touch on?
We're in a weird place where there's a game where a guy scores 42 going against another guy, DeJounte Murray, scores 40, and it's just a note
Yeah.
Yep.
at the end of things.
Yeah.
But that's what happened for Damian Lillard scoring 42, beating the Hawks. I saw John Mayer was also one of the guests for Bill Walton on Throw It Down. They were talking about how he learned how to play the guitar. No surprise. But I thought pretty bad help from DeAndre Hunter on that last play when Anthony Simons was wide open for a three. Like Lillard goes by, I'm sure it was Murray who was guarding Lillard, goes right by him. So Hunter helps from the strong side wing, like the easiest pass possible to Anthony Simons, who is a great three-point shooter. He knocks it down. That basically gave the Trailblazers the win. Afterwards, Anthony Simons was even like, I couldn't believe he helped off of me. Nobody usually helps off me like that. So I thought that was a pretty bonehead decision by Hunter there.
Yeah, any money from that corner, I do believe. So tough one. Although, some highlights from Bill Walton's second presentation as the the secondary commentary with John Mayer, Charles Barkley joined.
I saw that. Yeah.
And he was talking about Bridges, Mikal Bridges, having a great game. Then he just started naming his favorite Bridges multiple times. He talked Bridges throughout the broadcast, which was awesome.
Like he literally
Golden
is like going,
Gate.
Brooklyn.
George Washington.
Travel bridges.
Oh yeah, he was
not
straight
even
up
human bridges.
No, straight up real
like-
architectural bridges.
Yes.
Architectural bridges.
And
that's
he
the
like
word.
saying like how it's a metaphor for life.
The greatest metaphor for life.
is a bridge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
I guess person to person. Just reaching out. Connecting. So it was unfortunate. Yeah, you mentioned the dumb move there by DeAndre Hunter to come over from Simons. Unfortunately, same sort of thing happened with the Raps game where they didn't box out Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig for the for the Phoenix Suns, getting an extra possession there to have Chris Paul seal it with a three. Torrey Craig just jumping over Fred mostly, but nobody getting to him. Looking like a Sean Marion from 15 years ago in Phoenix. Since we're naming old Allens, let's name an old son. Torrey Craig, got the board. with this big headband, and that sealed the game, really. That was it. And so Mikal Bridges, a big one there for 29, as we said. Tough one for the Raps, but the Suns just outworked them a bit.
Mikal Bridges has turned it on as of late.
Yeah.
I remember we had it was like a couple weeks ago on this podcast. I know I was specifically sort of calling him out, or like even just pointing out ooh, not maybe a lead guy on a team, right? We're seeing his limitations with no Booker, with no Chris Paul, because he was having a lot of games which was like 10 points, rough shooting nights, sort of disappearing within games, and they were losing a lot. But they've racked up a bunch of wins here, and I think a large part is he's like sort of found his footing as sort of their go-to guy, shooting a much better percentage, obviously still playing like his 40 minutes per game here, hitting the 3-ball. So, he's shutting me up a little bit and is getting maybe just more comfortable as he got those reps being the lead guy here with still no Booker in this lineup. And they've won here a significant amount of games now, the Suns. They beat the Nets, they beat the Pacers, they beat the Grizzlies, they beat the Hornets. Okay, lost a close one to the Mavs in Rivals Week. That was the Dinwiddie game. And then followed up by beating the Spurs on the road and then took care of the Raptors at home. They've had a lot of home games, but they're right here, and we might as well show the Western Conference standings too, because it's a mess. Not a lot of games separating, really the third-seeded Kings. Hell, down to the 10th, 11th, 12th team we could have included on this graphic if you wanted to. Cut it off at the play-in teams there, but anything jump out to you?
The Warriors being 5th.
Yeah,
big time.
That jumps out. Back-to-back road wins for the first time this season.
Wow.
4-2 on the road in January. Andrew Wiggins back last night.
That's big.
15 points and I think it took him 13 shots, but at least they got him back. Only a game and a half back from 4th, 2.5 back from 3rd. Don't let the Warriors get home court advantage if you're in the Western Conference. You want to beat them.
Yeah, that's the scary part. For a team like the Kings, who have a really long trip here before the All-Star break, the Clippers are coming on. So, yeah, the Kings are the worry spot, I would say, they're just in a tough spot because of the road trip coming up, and
sure.
Clippers and Warriors right on their butts.
Yeah, it would just suck to be the Kings. Haven't made the playoffs in 16 years. They're in the 3rd seed. They're the feel-good story of the league, really. The light, the beam, all that, maybe 2 All-Stars, and then, one bad week where they, drop 3 in a row, let's say, to some tough competition. Yeah. They could drop all the way down into, a play-in spot.
Sure.
Just like that. So
it's honestly gonna be tough for the Kings regardless. If they stay 3rd, they're getting a matchup with a team who's gonna have a ton more postseason experience than they are, no matter who they end up playing. So I don't know. Let's just enjoy it right now.
Yeah, that's why it was a good win.
Beam. Yeah.
That's why it was a good win last night.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, as for the Eastern Conference wins, we had Kyrie Irving scoring 26. Nets beat the Lakers 121-104. No LeBron James, no AD in that game. Banchero and the Magic rallied from an early hole. I think they were down 21 to the Sixers really early in this game, but they win 119-109. Philly, the talk of the town. That 7-game win streak, was it? Everybody going nuts and beat out playing Jokic, and then they lose to a very pesky Magic team who's actually playing really well as of last month. And then the Wizards ended, get this, a 22-game skid in San Antonio. The Wizards had not won in San Antonio since 1999.
That's a sizable skid.
That's a skid where you throw the underwear out. You are not washing
Disgusting.
that. You are, I don't care how great your washing machine is, how high efficient it is. I don't care how much Tide you put in that thing.
What if you got a stain stick?
Oh, you'd ruin it. You'd ruin the stick.
Maybe a spray would be better.
Anyway, you're throwing it out. It's that bad of a skid, and they snapped it. They got some fresh underwear. They beat the Spurs 127-106. Any thoughts on any of those 3 games?
Yeah, December 11th, 99, the last time the Wizards beat the Spurs. They're starting Strickland and Juwan Howard and an Ike Austin.
Oh, Ike Austin. Most
Mitch
improved
Richmond.
player, Ike Austin. Not that year, maybe, but
Yeah.
Mitch Richmond. Wow.
Mitch Richmond was a wizard.
Oh.
And then Jordan stole his spot. Stealer. Anyway.
Stealer.
So that was a while. I think Denny Avdia, just quick Zard's love for him. He was 10-12 last night. Using his body. It's in a different evolution of his game. I thought just watching him yesterday. He's young, and I think he's just adding the physical nature to his game, just getting into the lane and pushing guys around a bit. It is the Spurs, but I think he's getting a little bit more confident. The trade of Rui Hachimura opened up some minutes for him, and he's played in 30 in 3 of the last 4 games. So I think he's getting an increased role and increased confidence. I think Denny just needs the confidence. He's got the game. I love Denny.
Any thoughts on those 3 games?
Well, according to the AP, Denny Avdia's new nickname is Turbo.
I saw this. I'm going to check. Let me check Basketball Reference, see how quick they are at that.
Yeah, I don't
can't
know if
imagine
they
it's
updated
there.
it yet. Apparently,
Why?
Monty Morris gave him the nickname while the two were playing one-on-one. Morris playfully remarked that Avdia's hustle reminded him of the turbo and square move in NBA 2K. Career high 25 for Turbo. Turbo Avdia.
I don't look at
career
Denny
high
Avdia and
25?
how he
No,
plays and think
no.
turbo. I mean, he plays hard.
He plays hard.
Yeah, but yeah.
Not
Yeah.
fast.
No.
Not fast, no, but he's got an American Gladiators nickname now. Turbo.
Turbo, yeah.
Was there an American Gladiator named
Hell yeah.
Turbo?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there had to be. It's perfect.
Is it
I
a
mean,
woman? Female?
No, I thought there was a man. Turbo, I can sort of picture
Definitely
him.
a Nitro.
There's a
There's
Nitro.
probably a Turbo.
I'm
There got
looking.
to be a lot of them eventually.
Nitro.
Yeah, Turbo. There was a Turbo. His
so
name
that-
was Galen Tomlinson.
Galen.
He excelled in most events. He was maybe the best athlete on the team. Jeez.
Wow, nice. Is Denny Avdia the best athlete on the Washington Wizards? I mean, he's probably a better athlete than like Kuzma,
Think so?
Porzingis. I mean, he's Turbo, man. He's Turbo.
I didn't even realize that was a career high 25 for him yesterday.
Kind of surprising.
Oh, there's Turbo. That was quick.
What a striking man.
You can see the resemblance to Avdia. Totally. Tank top, side part.
It would
Good
be
stuff.
cool if like one team, actually the Wizards, I mean, I know they have a bunch of alternates now, but they do have the red, white, and blue color palette.
Yeah.
Very American Gladiators like everybody on the team had an American Gladiator name.
Yeah.
Turbo
cool.
and Nitro and
Siren.
yeah. She was deaf, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah, that was-
you're right.
that was
You're right.
amazing.
Yeah. Who will be Lace?
I used to love
Daniel
American
Gafford, I
Gladiators.
think, would be Lace. My other takeaway from this is that
I agree with that. I can see that. Okay, go ahead. What
my
else
other
you got?
takeaway, the Sixers, they missed Rivals Week.
Yeah.
I think they missed Rivals Week. They came out, smacked the Magic in the first quarter, and basically are like, this game's over.
Yeah.
Let's just chill here. Embiid had 21 in the first half, just 9 in the second half. They've won a lot of games in a row, and the Magic are a scrappy team. Plus, this is pretty rare, actually. The Sixers were on the last end of a back-to-back-to-back. They had the win against the Nuggets on Saturday. Then they partied with Meek Mill and Lil Baby at the Eagles game on Sunday. Then they had to go to Orlando for a game on Monday. So you can understand a schedule loss there for Philadelphia.
Hadn't thought about that.
yeah.
Though Embiid and Harden did play, so
Yes, yes.
kudos to them. But
They let go of the rope there in the second half after that big victory, after the big lead that they
Yeah.
got out to. They just chilled, and the Magic were playing hard. Markelle Fultz was getting physical. Mo Wagner embarrassed Embiid in the fourth quarter a couple times.
I agree. Embiid flopped on a drive by Mo Wagner. That was comical to me.
Yeah, and he bid on a pump fake.
Yeah.
Very strange, very strange. That's going to Mo Wagner's highlight reel for his career, I imagine.
think so?
Yeah, it was pretty stuff. And the Nets came through with their bench. The depth on their bench was monstrous. While I was watching, I heard the stat that they had 60 points from their bench specifically, and now I keep adding it up, and it keeps getting higher and higher. So I don't even want to say the number that I'm seeing here, but it keeps getting higher and higher. I think it's 66, if I'm seeing that correctly. But big games from Patty and Cam Thomas, who is a bucket off the bench.
Yeah.
Both had 21 off the bench.
Cam Thomas smiled.
Oh, he doesn't smile.
Kyrie made him
right.
smile. Yeah, he said he doesn't smile because shit ain't
Tremendous.
funny.
I like that.
Lakers are funny.
Yeah, that's true.
That seems a joke. That's what he said.
That's why he was laughing.
Yep.
And for the Magic, just back to them quickly. They are the best, worst team in the league, right? The Magic.
Sure.
With it set up here, I enjoy watching
Best
them.
bad team.
With the Wagners, obviously Banchero is he's rookie of the year, like we've said, from week one, continued to play really, really well. Wendell Carter Jr. The pieces are fun. And their record, I don't have it in front of me, but it was going around after a very, very brutal start where they lost a ton of games. It's very respectable over the last month. It's
I think they started 6-20, and then they're 15-11. Since.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So it's between them and the Lakers for the best bad team.
Spicy. Let's see the Eastern Conference standings real quick there, JD. Thank you, sir. Hey, JD, if you're feeling frisky, just press a button over there, see what happens. Celtics still at the top there, 2.5 game lead over the Bucks. Sixers drop a half game back of them with that loss to the Magic. Nets hanging around, Cavs there. There's the Heat. And then in the play-in right now, it's Knicks, Hawks, Wizards, Bulls. The Wizards, I forgot to say, are on a 6-game win streak.
5 of them are on the road, too. The Wizards are balling right now.
I know.
The Gladiators themselves.
Yes, they are in the gauntlet.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, Turbo! Wow, he had long hair and then short hair, this guy. maybe he lost, I don't know, in the Eliminator. Got caught in the gears. His hair came off. I don't know. I've told you the story. I was in a shop class when a girl named Holly's hair got caught in the lathe.
Oof.
That was not a great day at school.
Holly's hair.
Yeah.
Good job. I believe it. I want to say it was Rob. A man named Rob hit the emergency button that they always tell you about. But to shut everything down. It's quick thinking. Because it still wasn't good.
Did they have to cut it?
Hair was lost.
Yeah,
but
hair was lost.
She had very long hair, and it was man, shop class. We also had a shop teacher who was missing a thumb, from the bandsaw, years prior.
This guy's legit.
Yeah, but when he was giving that first lesson, he's like, "Don't do this because this will happen," and then this thumb's gone. And we're like, "Holy crap!"
Each one teach one.
Yeah. Anyway,
He wasn't giving guitar lessons, I bet. No thumbs. Or one lack of a thumb. It'd be tough. You could use a pick, I guess. Oh, no, I guess you don't really need them. But, holding the guitar. Anyway, that's too bad about Holly.
She's okay. Any more thoughts before we take our first break on any of those games last night?
I think we got to.
Okay, good.
I'm good.
Let's take our first break, and when we come back, we got a bunch of hypothetical trades in Grade That Trade. Don't go anywhere.
I'll admit it, got kind of excited when I realized that this season's All-Star Weekend isn't the same weekend as Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Wanna know why?
Why?
Some say Valentine's Day is the sexiest day of the year. At the very least, it's in my top 3, alongside Halloween and Leap Day. But fellas, are you ready? Roman ready for that sweet Valentine's Day sex? I hope so, because you only got 2 weeks, and as we all know, a strong sex life can deepen your feelings of intimacy with your partner and lead to increased happiness. Roman addresses a variety of sexual health needs for men. Roman offers genuine medication that helps achieve and maintain your sex goals, so how does it work? First, you complete an online visit detailing your symptoms and medical history. Then, a U.S. licensed healthcare professional will review your information and make a personalized treatment recommendation. Finally, if prescribed, Roman will ship your treatment in discreet packaging with free 2-day shipping. The best part? With Roman, everything is online. There are no waiting rooms and no hassle. Roman sends everything right to your door with free shipping and in discreet packaging. To get ready, Roman ready, for better sex this Valentine's Day, go to ro.co/athletic today to get 20% off your entire first order. Do it by February 8th for guaranteed shipping in time. That's ro.co/athletic to get 20% off your entire first order.
All right, if you're here live right now on YouTube, take a second and give a thumbs up for the shop teachers out there and their missing thumbs. That was a great comment there in the stream team.
Take a thumb, leave a thumb.
That's right. Just hit that little thumbs up. Helps us out. Does it? No one really knows, but we like to see those thumbs very high in numbers.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Okay, what were I going to do? Yeah, okay, we got this. Latest rumor dump from Shams at The Athletic implies that the Raptors are still trying to figure out what they're going to do at the deadline. All right? Are the Raptors buyers? Are the Raptors sellers? Are they tinkering? Are they rebuilding this whole damn thing, around a Scotty Barnes or something? But one of the juicier tidbits in Shams' piece yesterday was related to Raptors head coach Nick Nurse. Quote, "There's been frustration throughout the roster and staff with the team's play at points of this season, and that has been directed toward Nurse at times too, according to sources." End quote. Nurse will be entering the final season of his current contract this offseason. Is Raptors coach Nick Nurse on the hot seat? I ask you that, Tass.
No. I don't
think
so. No.
Does he deserve some blame for maybe how disappointing the season's gone?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I understand the locker room may not be entirely happy with Nick Nurse, but I just think this is a case of everything has gone to poop in the Raptors locker room. No one's winning. And I think that's just the case. what always happens. Everybody's going to get some blame. Everybody deserves some blame, but he's signed through next season. Mm-hmm. He's making $8 million, as the report goes. That's plenty. For him, I think he should be happy with that. I don't think he was unhappy with this contract by any means, and I think he's going to see this through until 2024, and then we'll decide where we go. I understand.
You don't usually like to have a head coach like a lame duck head coach in their final season of a contract. They don't generally, NBA teams don't do that.
Sure.
Not that they couldn't come to a new contract in the offseason.
Nick Nurse has earned whatever he wants. To me, if he wants to coach as a lame duck, fine. If they want to discuss an extension in the offseason, also fine.
You think he's still one of the better coaches in the league and has proven that. He
has not gotten the most out of his players this season. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
He has not pressed the right buttons. Did he believe the Barnes hype train before everybody else and gave him a little too much responsibility? I would say yes, because it hasn't worked out, but that may be on Scotty Barnes as well. So I do believe in Nick Nurse to some degree. So is he on the hot seat? I think no chance that they're going to fire him between now and the offseason. No chance.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more lame duck than hot seat if you're going for the term here, because he's going to be going into his last season of the contract. Maybe the message is wearing thin a little bit. The players are playing a ton of minutes. He's a little bit of a Tibbs Jr. This season, 3 of the top 20 in minutes per game, Raptors. Last season, 4 of the top 20. Year before that, it was Pascal and Fred. It's basically been a playoff rotation for 3 seasons for the Raptors, and the results are just not quite there the way they were right after the championship season. They won a playoff series, then they didn't win a playoff series, and now they're going to be fighting to even get into the playoffs. So maybe next year is the last year for Nurse. I don't think they'll fire him. They'll maybe give him a chance to come back, or he might want to go somewhere else as well, depending on what the Raptors do here at the deadline.
Yeah, I think you said it there, Taz. There is blame to go around to everybody, including the Raptors front office with limitations of this roster. I mean, they need a center or a backup center at the very least. Now that Precious is back, they could use some more guard play. There are holes in the roster. But then Nurse has not been amazing. What he's done with some of the guys coming off the bench has been perplexing at times, especially Chris Boucher, who at times is thrown out there, times you don't see for weeks, it feels like. And so it's odd. And he's I get it. He's trying to figure things out. And there's been injuries and all of that. And then there's blame on the players too, in terms of stretches where they played poorly. So yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere though. And I still think Nick Nurse, I do believe, is one of the better coaches. Has proven he's one of the better coaches in the league in terms of creativity and trying things. But that part of running guys maybe into the ground can catch up to you as an organization. We'll see. A lot of people still think Raptors might make a move here with 9 or 10 days to go. Are they moving off one of their core pieces? Are they doing something to either try and salvage the season or look forward to the future with some of their star players? We'll find out. Anyway, that deadline is it's less than 10 days away. 9 days?
Soon.
What do you call it? 9 days or 10 days? It's February 9th. Today's the 31st.
9.
Okay, 9 days away.
I go 9, because counting.
Niner.
And yesterday, Bleacher Report's Dan Favale, he dropped his ultimate 2023 NBA trade deadline cheat sheet. Okay? This thing had it all. Untouchable players, notable trade assets, whether teams will be buyers or sellers at the deadline, incoming and outcoming draft picks, salary cap situations, and most importantly, hypothetical trades for each team to pursue or at least consider. I picked a few of my favorites, so let's run back a very popular segment here on No Dunks called Grade That Trade. Yeah, we're in the classroom. We're grading trades. Let's do it. All right. Well, we talked about the Mavericks. They got to get Luka some help. We even talked about D'Angelo Russell being at times sort of a borderline, he's not an all-star, but you know what I mean, looking like an all-star at times and then looking like a very bad player at other times. Anyway, Dan Favale here has a trade. Mavs-Wolves. Mavericks get D'Angelo Russell. The Wolves get Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, and a 2027 second-round pick, so a future second-round pick. Thoughts? Would you like to grade that trade, TK?
Yeah. I forgot we were grading.
Well,
here.
hold on. I don't know why there's a Lakers logo here.
He used to play. D'Angelo Russell used to play for the Lakers.
Yes.
Jesus, we're having one hell of a day here.
Minnesota used to have the Lakers.
Minnesota
many
Lakers.
moons ago, many moons.
A lot of lakes there.
I will grade this trade.
Water skiing happened there.
Okay, D'Angelo Russell is going to the Mavs in this hypothetical trade. The Wolves get Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, and that's future second-round pick.
Yeah, well, we were just working out the kinks here before trade deadline.
That's right.
Yeah. we'll be pumping
Tough
out
negotiations.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I'll give it a B. Solid B. Solid B on the old report card. It would be the Mavericks going all in on offense because eventually you're going to have to play Luka, obviously. You're going to have to play D'Angelo Russell because you just traded for him. And you're going to have to play Spencer Dinwiddie because he's one of your best players. So you got those three. Christian Wood, eventually, whenever he's back. That's 4 offense-first players. Dorian Finney-Smith would, I guess, have to guard every single player out there. He's likely the only other guy that you're going. But with Russell's contract coming to an end at the end of the season, this gives the Mavericks a chance to chase somebody in the offseason when they also have access to a bunch of picks. I like it a little bit less for the Timberwolves. You get Tim Hardaway Jr. on a long deal at a decent price, but Dwight Powell could maybe replace Naz Reid if Minnesota decides to trade Naz Reid. So I think it's okay. I think this is the kind of trade where it's like okay for both teams.
Yeah.
Which means it's realistic.
Yeah, I go lower. I'm not really excited about it. I can see it from the Mavs' perspective. They get help. I think that was the way this trade was designed. D'Angelo Russell comes in, obviously some defensive worries, big time. But you do get another ball handler. You get some offense. But you lack some defense, and that's a big problem. I mean, he really is not as good as Jalen Brunson was last year, and so you're just going to be struggling on the defensive end. So that's the worry there. You gave up a decent amount for him. On the other side, the Wolves there getting Tim Hardaway, Dwight Powell, and that 2027 second-round pick. I don't like it all that much. I think you see Tim Hardaway will be taking minutes from like connecting type guys like maybe Taurean Prince, Kyle Anderson, a young Jalen Noel, or Austin Rivers even, or Jordan McLaughlin even. I don't think that's really a recipe for success for them. And Dwight Powell, yeah, maybe long-term he helps fill the hole of Naz Reid, but he's not going to play now behind Gobert, Towns, and Reid. He's not going to play this season, I don't think. I think the Timberwolves would be smarter. A little U-turn here.
Yeah.
If they go to Denver, who is rumored to be trading Bones Highland, and they need depth, if you go 2-for-1 with your depth for Bones Highland, this doesn't work out exactly, but it could with their trade exception and a third team. Taurean Prince and Naz Reid for Bones Highland, I think would help the Nuggets. They just need.
They get a backup center.
They get a backup center. They get a little wing help in Taurean Prince, just guys who play hard off the bench, and can be a smart connector. And you don't have Bones Highland's shot selection problems that the Nuggets have been struggling with a little bit. But the Timberwolves can take a flyer on a young guy that can help out just score the ball because they need a little bit more dynamic scoring, and that's why Tim Hardaway kind of fits for the Wolves, but I think that would be a smarter move. But I hear the idea there.
Okay. All right, let's move on here, JD, to our next trade here from Dan Favale of Bleacher Report. Pelicans receive Malik Beasley. The Jazz receive Devontae Graham, Herb Jones, and a 2024 second-round pick by way of the Bulls. So Beasley, the key piece here, going to the Pelicans. Some three-point shooting. Guy gets them up. It's been a decent clip. And the Jazz get Devontae Graham and Herb Jones there. Any thoughts? You get us started here, Task. Grade that trade.
Pels, very high. They're high. They are happy with the return of Herb Jones, especially for Malik Beasley.
The Jazz.
Yeah, the Jazz got to be extremely happy to get Herb Jones from Malik Beasley. You hear Danny Ainge wants the OG Anunoby rumored types. So I think Herb Jones would be a little bit of a downgrade from that. But they want those 3-and-D type guys to go around who they believe is a star and is a star this season, and Lauri Markkanen. So I think it makes a lot of sense from their perspective. And from the Jazz, yeah, you're getting a shooter and a scorer. It does make sense on both sides. Will Malik Beasley get the minutes on this team? Because they are pretty log-jammed. If you want to score, it sort of makes sense. Giving up on Herb Jones would peeve a lot of Pels fans, I think. But with the way Trey Murphy III has come along, I guess you give up on him. I don't, it seems like a little bit much for Malik Beasley, but it does make logical sense with their rotation to have a scorer on their team.
Yeah, the Pelicans definitely need shooting, but I think the Jazz have to love Herb Jones to do this and also pay the next 2 years of Devontae Graham's salary. So I personally wouldn't do this for either perspective because, I don't think I want Malik Beasley taking minutes from Trey Murphy III, who definitely has surpassed Herb Jones in my book. And also the way the Pelicans have struggled with Zion and Ingram out, I don't think they need to push all in on this season. I think they should make moves in the offseason. And, there was a lot of hype around Herb Jones last year. That's definitely fallen away this season as he's really struggled with his shot, but a promising prospect. I don't necessarily think I would do this just to potentially get Beasley chucking threes.
Okay. Drop that one there, JD. Let's move on. The Grizzlies. They're getting Kyle Kuzma. Oh, what? Kuz going to the Grizzlies, according to Dan Favelli's hypothetical trade here. Wizards received Danny Green, David the Body Roddy, and a 2024 first-round pick, lottery protected. Okay. What do you think? Kuz to the Grizz.
Send it.
Send it.
Send it.
You like it?
This is a great trade.
Great trade, both sides.
Great trade, both sides. Kuzma is exactly what the Grizzlies need. Shooting, defense, rebounding, size, veteranship, if you will. The only concern for me is that the Grizzlies love to draft. And they actually hit on late first rounders.
Right.
So would they want to trade a late first round pick for somebody who's 27 years old who they then have to sign to a bigger deal in the offseason? That would give me a little bit of pause. But I think Kuzma's a difference-making player for a team like the Grizzlies. So I would be fine giving up on the idea of Danny Green, who we'll see what he has left in the tank when he gets back on the court. David Roddy, an interesting prospect, an interesting shaped guy at the very least, and then that pick. So I don't know. The Grizzlies, I think the thing the Grizzlies are most excited about that they would be giving up is that first round pick.
Yeah.
Because they like having the cost certainty of that kind of stuff, but I think it's worth it for a guy like Kuzma.
This is the Grizzlies, in theory, this hypothetical, going for it here. Yeah. Seeing the opening, saying, damn, we could get to a finals here, and Kuzma maybe bumps us up a level or two. You like this?
Absolutely. I think they should go for it. The Danny Green part of it is maybe they just try to see what Danny Green gives them in that Kuzma role. He is that literally, an old version of Kyle Kuzma in a way. 3-time champ, does the 3-and-D'ing, has some attitude there to help out. Won't get in the way. Kuz, I think, will be fine with the attitude that the Grizzlies have. He'll fit in. It makes sense.
Problem is you'd have to pay him then.
That's the problem. I think they have enough first-round picks to say bye to one of them. It looks like, reading their chart here, like they have a bunch to send. So I think they'd be fine sending one. You'd get a talented guy in Kuzma. But the worrisome part is, does Kuzma just, does he blend into this team? He's not a starter on this team. I highly doubt. Who's he going to start over? Jaren Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams have to start. Is he going to start over Dylan Brooks? I doubt it.
Right.
I don't think so. Mm-hmm. So
gives you
he has
options,
to fit
I guess, in terms of matchups. Where maybe
sense.
you don't start Adams. There are particular matchups.
No, it makes sense. Will Kuz be fine with that long term? I don't know. I don't know if he signs there. So I guess that's the worrisome part for the Grizzlies.
Okay. Overall, though, you guys seem to like that one. Good one there from Dan. All right, next one. Let's go to the Eastern Conference. Miami Heat. They are the winners of Bojan Bogdanovic. Again, hypothetical trade here. The Pistons in return get Duncan Robinson in that contract. Nikola Jovic. Not Jokic. Okay. And a 23 first-round pick, top 4 protected, and a 28 second-round pick. Bogdanovic going to the Heat. TK, what'd you think of this one here? Is there something to it?
It's great if you're the Heat. This is exactly what they need. Bojan Bogdanovic, a shooter with some size. He would basically be their Jay Crowder / PJ Tucker replacement. The stretch 4 that they have kind of been lacking since those guys left the team. I don't necessarily know if this is the best deal the Pistons could get, however, because if this is a top 4 protected pick after this season, the Pistons would be getting it from Miami, but it's going to be what? In the teens, maybe in the 20s. Perhaps they can find a better deal there. And I don't know if they necessarily want to pay Duncan Robinson the next 3 seasons of his contract, though he did play college basketball for the University of Michigan, so you could pitch him as a Michigan man returning home, or you could more likely try and reroute him somewhere else, but there don't seem to be that many takers here. So it seems unlikely to me that this would get done, but I can see why Miami would want to.
Yeah, Miami, send it in. No doubt for them. But similar to the Jazz-Pelicans deal, you'd be getting Duncan Robinson's contract back if you're the Pistons, and you wouldn't be getting a great first-round pick either. So,
But a first-round pick, and if you're high on Jovic as a potential,
you got to be high on Jovic,
yeah.
sure. So I'm not sure if they are high on Jovic, but I do think the Pistons receiving a first-round pick is what they're going to get if they do move off of Bojan Bogdanovic. All this posturing is all fun and games right now. 2 first-round picks, bring it. Ain't gonna happen. The Jazz traded Bojan Bogdanovic last year to the Pistons for Kelly Olynyk, Saban Lee, and Cash. And this return would be great for Troy Weaver and the Pistons. This would be an upgrade in that first-round pick especially. You got to be happy with the first-round pick. Again, you'd probably want it to be a little bit better, and you probably I don't know how high they are on Jovic, but yeah, I don't think they do this because contract for Robinson, maybe not the best player that they can get, and try and get a better first-round pick. But yeah, it makes sense. Go get a great pick. I think that's what the Pistons should be looking for.
All right, final one. A lot of these trades in Dan's Ultimate 2023 NBA trade deadline cheat sheet, very realistic, right? Like very not maybe the biggest names in the world, but you're like, okay, I can see how that could help that team and that could help that team. There was a couple 3-team deals, it gets a little convoluted. But this one actually was like, whoa, what? Huh. I wanted to throw it at everybody here. It is the Hornets trading for Ben Simmons and Joe Harris, with the Nets getting in return Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre Jr., and Mason Plumlee, the Plum Dog.
The dog himself.
So this one, it stopped me in my tracks. But I need you to grade that trade. Hornets-Nets, hypothetical, Ben Simmons to Charlotte, and Hayward, Kelly and the Plum Dog going to Brooklyn. What do you think?
Why would the Hornets do this?
Man, why would the Nets do this?
This is why it stopped me.
This one's an F.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this is an F because I just can't understand why Charlotte would do this. For Ben Simmons, that's why they would do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like those 3 guys that are going to Brooklyn are part of their long-term plans, right? I think we'd agree with that. It's the hope of Ben Simmons, fingers crossed, still enjoys basketball, would still like to play at an all-star level, can be a difference maker. That's you're praying and hoping that's the case.
But even this version of Ben Simmons that we're seeing right now, a solid defender who scores, for a 6-minute stretch every game, is better than anything that the Hornets are sending back, really.
Mason Plumlee is better than Ben Simmons is right now.
Jeez. Whoa.
I mean, unfortunately, it's true. Mason Plumlee plays all the time.
Yeah,
Mason Plumlee puts up numbers.
Yes.
I bet he's shooting a better percentage from the free throw line than Ben Simmons is. I didn't check.
Probably.
I also wouldn't do this if I'm the Nets. Unless
Okay.
I can get PJ Washington instead of Kelly Oubre.
Oh.
Kelly Oubre's not even playing. It works in the trade machine. If you throw in PJ instead of Kelly, I think getting Gordon Hayward the few games he's going to play for you,
Yeah.
he's your new Ben Simmons, but maybe, just maybe, he's healthy in the playoffs and can make a 3-pointer off the bench. PJ Washington, a little bit of size. Mason Plumlee, a solid center at this point in his career, reunited with the Brooklyn Nets, where he was once a slam dunk contest participant.
That's right.
Yeah,
He jumped
Bring him
over his
home.
brother.
Bring him home.
I forgot he jumped over Miles in that dunk.
That's right.
They would use him this year. There's no doubt. He'd be a filler for backup minutes and it would help when Nick Claxton gets in foul trouble or whatever. But he is 30 plus. He's 32 now, and you're trading him for Ben Simmons, who obviously isn't the Ben Simmons of old, but it's still.
Mason Plumlee is 12-10 with 4 assists a game
yeah.
this season.
He's too good. He's hurting the Hornets' tank job here.
62% from the free throw line.
Yeah, which is 16 percentage points better than Ben Simmons.
Put him in the hall, baby. Yeah, Ben is not scoring. That's true. That's a problem with Ben Simmons.
He's also not that good of a defender because he's now a big man. Because he can't handle the ball, because he doesn't want to go to the free throw line and doesn't look to score. So now he's a 4-5, and he's not a rim defender. He's like a point guard. His strength was that he was huge and fast enough to guard point guards. Now he's a backup center. Mason Plumlee knows how to play center. I can't believe it. Mason Plumlee's better than Ben Simmons. It's wild stuff.
Well, Ben Simmons is guarding perimeter players. I know he's forced to guard bigs, but he is, when they need somebody to guard a perimeter player, he goes and does it. He doesn't fit well in Brooklyn at times. Yeah, he plays a big man role because of who they have on their team. They got shooters, but he's still a good defender. And the thing is, you would trade for a 32-year-old, and you would just lose the hope, the possibility, the potential of Ben Simmons.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone, and Nets
coming
fans
back?
Agree it's gone.
Yeah.
Nets fans are already out on Ben Simmons.
That's why they should do this.
Yeah.
That's why the Hornets should also do this trade, though, because, I mean, Charlotte is the exact place Ben Simmons should end up in, where nobody cares and nobody's watching them. And nobody's talking about the missed free throws or the lack of pressure on the rim. Like, this would be like basically a Markelle Fultz 2.0 here, where it's like a guy goes somewhere, he goes to Orlando, and everyone's like, okay. And then it's like suddenly then like a year or two later, everyone's like, oh, he's playing okay. All right, because there's not that scrutiny. It's not that like every possession, every quarter and stuff like that. And that's almost not even the case with Ben Simmons anymore. Because to TK's point, everyone's like, the guy doesn't seem to care. He honestly just doesn't seem to like basketball when it gets down to it. And people are like, all right, he is what he is. Guy makes $35 to $40 million for the next couple of years. Oh, geez, okay. But Charlotte is not giving up a ton here. And at least, I guess my point is you can sell the dream of Ben Simmons getting back to all-star level Ben Simmons in Charlotte to your fan base with LaMelo and whatever more than you can Gordon Hayward and a Plum Dog and a Kelly Oubre Jr. Obviously, don't play.
I agree they should trade those guys.
Yeah.
I'd rather get picks back.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good point.
So the Nets traded James Harden for Mason Plumlee in the end. Wow. A guy you could literally get for at the on August 27th when everybody's signing for minimum contracts. The Nets traded, if you want to go trade ancestry, they traded Jared Allen for James Harden to get to make this happen in that wild four-way deal. And they traded Ben Simmons to the Hornets. Is that what's going to happen for Mason Plumlee? So this is one of those no, yes trades. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like, a shot going up that shouldn't be made, but it's like a trade. Shouldn't be made, but I guess it could. I don't know.
It won't,
No.
but it's a fun one to debate. I'm glad we slipped it in there. Thanks to Dan there at Bleacher Report
Thanks,
for
Dan.
all of those trades. There's another 25 if you want to do those tomorrow. And you get into the 3-team deals. Whew, trying to wrap your head around them. Man, it's difficult.
This is good. No, this is good.
This is good.
Very good.
Two is good.
Grade that trade. I love it. All right, pick 'em results last night. Oh boy, I took the Raps. So did Tass. That's a loss. Suns covered the 2.5-point spread at home. TK got it right. He's 14-6. This guy's on fire. I'm 6-14. I'm the opposite. You're 9-11. Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
No. not great.
Tonight's game. Where are we going?
We're going to New York, Madison Square Garden. Well, LeBron and Anthony Davis will be playing.
Will they? Is LeBron playing for sure?
He better be.
I don't think it's confirmed.
What did Darvin Ham say? Serious?
Yeah, he was
saying his foot soreness was serious.
I did not see that report from Darvin Ham.
His knees are sore from dropping to them after being upset by an official call. No call.
The back is sore from rolling around on the floor. It's possible, I suppose, that he sits out and times passing of Kareem for when he wants it. But we just expected him to play in Madison Square Garden on this
let's
tour
hope he
here.
plays. Let's hope he plays.
And I also picked this game because we will be watching it live on playback. The Knicks at home, favored by 2.5. Trey and I think that the Lakers, getting those couple points will take care of business. Skeets, why do you like the Knicks?
Oh man, I've had a brutal run here in January, but during our playback games, when we have had that game as our pick'em line, I'm solid.
Wow, you're tracking your playback picks. Amazing.
Yep. I think I'm only 1-0 in those games, but better than 6-14. Knicks, baby, come on! What are you talking about? Julius Randle against his old team? LeBron or not? Are you kidding me?
I've been struggling.
38 points for Julius Randle tonight. Lock it in.
I like that.
5 made threes. Brunson with a cool 28. Probably a clutch jumper late. Then we get into a foul situation and they cover. Knicks by 4. See you tonight on playback.
Great.
No reason now. Just told you what's going to happen. Let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
This tweet is a bit of a notice. put you on notice. An informational tweet, really. This is from FIBA Basketball.
Okay.
From the FIBA Basketball World Cup Twitter account, I guess. There's a tournament happening in August, September. It's called the World Cup of Basketball. Hasn't been played in 4 years.
All right.
So just put it on the calendar. August 25th to September 10th. Happens in Asia and Japan, Indonesia, and the Philippines. And let me get you excited for the tournament. Luka will be playing. Giannis will be playing. I assume Victor Wembanyama will be playing for France. They'll be there.
Wow.
I assume Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be playing for Canada. Is that right, Skeets?
I think so.
Yeah, he was.
You never know.
He was
These
on that
summer
roster.
plans. Yeah.
So I imagine Canada will be there.
They had a lot of the guys on the roster. Some didn't play because of injury reasons and stuff.
But they qualified. Lowry Markkanen will be there. A couple Wagners. Lots of Spaniards. Sabonis will be there.
Be a damn good tournament if all these guys play.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah.
And I went conservative. I assume that these guys are all playing. I assume the USA will be playing. It's very difficult to tell if they qualify, but I think they did qualify in last summer. I think Norris Cole led them to some victories or something. Anyway, it's tough to tell. Nice. But I think they will be there, considering they were knocked out by France in the last World Cup of Basketball in 2019 in the QFs, the quarterfinals. Evan Fournier was doing Evan Fournier things, FIBA Basketball Fournier. So, they need a little bit of a comeback. So I assume they'll be there. It feels like they will. And it's going to be a great tournament. And I say this because I watched last year the Euro tournament, a blast. Yeah, USA's not there, right?
I don't think USA is in this.
This doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't they be there? Yeah. But, yeah, that's why I was hesitant to say that they're there because I couldn't find them. But,
I don't think they are, according to the website there.
Yeah, well,
FIBA's World Cup website.
Yeah, or the Wikipedia page did not include them as a qualifier.
Canada is there, though, baby.
Yeah. There's 32 teams. I'd assume the United States of America would qualify for the men's basketball tournament. 32 teams.
There's actually 33 teams. I hate to... Well, actually, you.
Why?
I guess Japan as the host.
So?
Are also in there, yeah.
So you need to get an extra team in there?
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just reading their website.
But that's only 17 teams right there. I mean, the other...
You're right. Where are the other teams?
They haven't qualified yet.
Jesus.
They still got to qualify.
This show is a shit show today, isn't it?
Well, you shouldn't have said 33.
Why did I think that was 33?
That's
the qualifiers run through February 2023.
Yeah.
7 countries from the Americas will earn
There should have been more information in this tweet is what we're getting at.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, I named you all the qualified participants of stars that are going to be there. And I just thought the USA would have qualified, but I guess they haven't. And Norris Cole's going to have to do some work in February, I guess, if they're still part of it. But either way, they're going to be one of the last 15 teams to qualify, I assume. Sure. So
80 national teams are in the hunt to secure those 32 spots. You're absolutely correct.
Get ready for a fun tournament happening late August, early September. It's a nice timing for basketball fans. Last year, I watched the Euro tournament. A blast. Yeah. That's why I love Lowry so much, because I watched the rise of Lowry before he did in the NBA.
Markkanen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a one-name guy to me, Skeets, but it's up to you if you want to go. If you want to go 2 names.
Lowry. When you're saying it like that, I was thinking.
No.
Lowry has the Lowry name over Lowry.
Not anymore, my man.
What?
The game moves fast. The Lowry was the Lowry 4 years ago.
Hold on. You're trying to tell me if you said Lowry, and I know it comes down to how you say it, but like, if you said Lowry,
no,
you think people are thinking Markkanen before Kyle Lowry? No.
Basketball fans, yeah.
No way.
You're old.
Give me a break.
Kids
the guy's been around. He's had one
Lowry.
good year. We're talking about a guy that's had been in the league playing at an all-star level for basically a decade. No.
Not anymore. It's been years.
I didn't say now.
It's been years, not a decade.
He's a 6-time all-star.
Do you want me to say the finisher?
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good nickname.
Let's call him. Well, let's give him an American Gladiators. Maybe they have a Finnish Gladiators.
Fins. He's great at swimming. I don't
Sable.
Ice.
Ice is good.
Ice, yeah.
All right, we're calling him Ice.
It's cold there.
The Ice Man.
Ice.
Nice ice.
All right.
Let's
call it there, right? 6-time All-Star for Kyle Lowry, 2019 champion, All NBA. He still got it.
What was Lowry's last All-Star game? 19? Is that when? Did he make the All-Star game?
Did he make it the next year?
tell
With
you
the
now.
He
Raps?
might have. He could have made it that
1920.
next year.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
next
Yeah,
year.
that's pretty good that year.
He averaged 19 and 8 basically that year.
That was a good year.
Good year. That's it for today's No Dunks podcast. Woo, what a ride. Leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. We really appreciate that. Make sure you hit that like button for all your shop teachers out there. And for us, make sure you subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Join us tonight on Playback, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Is LeBron playing? We don't know, but we'll find out together. Lakers, Knicks, we'll bounce around. Heat, Cavs, Clips, Bulls. It's going to be a blast. We got to come up with a name for it, but right now, Crunch Surfing is the
Crunch surfing.
the leading name
Tune in for Crunch
our No
Surfing.
Dunks watch party. Who's this, JD?
Ice.
We got Ice
Wow.
Ice. Oh, we already had an Ice.
That was quick.
Wow. Man, is that like what she looks like now?
Day to day.
I think it's from a now versus then.
Yeah, sure.
Looks great.
Looks great.
That ice hasn't melted one bit.
Still chiseled.
I loved American Gladiators as a kid, man. I remember they tried to bring it back, right?
They did. I think you're right. Yeah.
Was like
Gina
Hulk Hogan.
Carano? Was she involved?
Why do I
Maybe?
feel like
don't know.
Hulk Hogan was in it for a second too? Like as a Hulk Hogan, or was it?
It should have been Kurt Angle.
No. Then it was
Yeah, he could pull it off.
It was the daughter of a. Was it Muhammad Ali's daughter?
Layla?
Man, why am I? Yeah, okay.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think these are. Oh yeah, these are both are right. Hulk Hogan and Layla Ali were the new hosts when they tried to bring it back. Sportscaster Van Earl Wright was the play-by-play announcer for that one.
Live from Los Angeles. Coming to you live.
Man. Main characters: Crush, Helga, Venom, Siren, classic, Wolf, Militia, Toa, Titan, and Justice. Those were, I guess, the new age gladiators.
I like Titan.
Yeah,
That's a good name.
good names.
There wasn't a Titan in the first one.
Maybe.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, there were maybe just like they had some vets in the locker room. All right, here's how you fire the gun with the
veteran
tennis balls. Here's how assault works.
Oh, you're saying
You lose an eye out there. Listen up, Venom.
that's how Venom talks.
No, he's more like, I'm gonna get you in breakthrough and cocker.
Venom was
Batman.
Venom is a
That
woman.
was Bane. Venom was a woman.
I think so.
Oh, honestly,
I thought it was a new Titan, but you think that they've trademarked the names? Like, if I'm Titan, I'm gonna be in the new show. I think they just
I don't know. It could have been
New Titan,
the son of Titan.
son of Titan.
That sounds
Son
cool.
of Titan's
too.
cool. Yeah. We got to see if we can find like an American Gladiators replay when we're watching Playback tonight.
Yeah, play back.
I'd watch it.
2008
I'd watch
is
an
when they brought
Eliminator.
back. Hell yeah, I would watch the hell out of this show right now. God, Wesley Two Scoops Berry, given 1,010%, he would say all the time. He would always up it. 100% one week. Who's this? This is
It's
Venom.
Venom.
She doesn't look like a Venom at all.
I don't know. They're running out of names, I guess.
Yeah, one of them.
Venom to me would, have red hair first off.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Interesting. Like
Is
a
it-
poison ivy.
Poison ivy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Green or red?
Maybe just like
Green hair, yeah. Like Shotzi.
some pink on the outfit.
Some
Like
highlights?
a slime, little decal.
I don't know. Let's just keep naming American Gladiators, and then JD will randomly pull a picture every once in a while. Be like, oh yeah, nice.
All right.
We got time, yeah.
We keep going.
So playback starts in about
Wings? Would that
8
be a
hours.
good American Gladiator name? Wings?
WNBA team name.
Yeah.
All right, join us tonight. Okay, we'll talk American Gladiators while we watch a little NBA. Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, when Kyle Lowry won a title, we were called the starters, but now we're the finishers. Not really. Why were we named the starters? Nobody knows. It's a mystery.
People in the stream team are saying FTB. FTB.
Let's go.
FTB.
Fade the boys.
Brace the day, people. And then you've got to come back. Come on back. There you go.